Namaskar and welcome to DD India. I'm Mark Lynn. You're watching Express News. India is celebrating Constitution Day on Tuesday. The day marks a milestone in shaping the democratic framework of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other leaders attended the Constitution Day celebrations at the Central Hall of Samvidhan Sadan in the old Parliament building. President Draupadi Murmu addressed a joint sitting of both houses of the Parliament commemorating the 75th year of the adoption of the Constitution. In his speech, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar said that this is an occasion to reflect on the Constitution's core values. Marking the celebrations, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla noted that our Constitution is the result of years of sacrifice, ingenuity, strength and the ability of our people. As part of Constitution Day celebrations, President Murmu released a commemorative coin and stamp. Two books named Making of the Constitution of India, A Glimpse, and Making of the Constitution of India and Its Glorious Journey were also unveiled by the President. Additionally, a booklet dedicated to the art of the Indian Constitution was released. President Draupadi Murmu also led the ceremonial reading of the preamble of the Constitution in the Central Hall of Parliament. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs paid floral tributes to the former Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Rabi Ray, on his birth anniversary on Tuesday in Samvidhan Sadan. On the 16th anniversary of the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack, India's President Draupadi Murmu paid homage to the brave hearts who lost their lives and expressed solidarity with their families. Maharashtra's Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, along with Deputy Chief Ministers, also paid floral tributes to the brave hearts at the Martyrs Memorial in Mumbai. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde tendered his resignation to the governor of the state. Shinde will continue to hold the charge until alternate arrangements are made. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, chaired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has given its approval for the PAN 2.0 project of the Income Tax Department. The financial implication of the project will be 1,435 crore rupees. A high-level committee under the chairmanship of India's Home Minister Amit Shah has approved around 1,100 crore rupees for disaster mitigation and capacity building projects for various states. India's Minister for MSME, Jitin Ram Manjhi, presided over the 11th meeting of the General Council of Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Rural Industrialization. India's Union Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan inaugurated 227 gender resource centers in 13 states under the Nai Chetna 3.0 campaign on Monday. Chief Minister of the Indian state of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, will inaugurate Huddle Global 2024, the country's flagship startup festival organized by Kerala Startup Mission on November 28. The 13th plenary meeting of the Regional Committee of the UN Global Geospatial Information Management Asia and Public and Pacific, hosted by Survey of India, is being held at the Bharat Mandapam from November 26 to 29 in New Delhi. The 17th edition of the Convention on Pharmaceutical Ingredients and PMEC India Expo began on Tuesday at the India Expo Centre, Greater Noida, showcasing the pharmaceutical industry's modernization, innovation and sustainability. 5G and 5G Advanced are expected to be the key focus areas for communication service providers for the decade, according to the latest Ericsson Mobility Report. India holds the highest average monthly usage per smartphone at 32 GB, over 6.3 billion global 5G subscriptions forecast by the end of 2030. The Consumer Lab report also highlights the rising use of generative AI apps. Entertainment giant Walt Disney has agreed to pay $43.3 million to settle a class action lawsuit which was filed by 9 female employees in 2019, alleging gender pay discrimination. The lawsuit claimed that Disney paid female middle managers less than men in similar roles over the past 10 years. Oil prices edged higher in early trade on Tuesday after falling in the previous session as investors took stock of the potential ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. Brent crude futures rose 15 cents to $73.16 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $69.09 a barrel, or 0.22%. Wall Street's main indexes ended higher on Monday after Scott Bassett's nomination as the U.S. Secretary of Treasury helped push bond yields lower. Trump's choice, announced late on Friday, is making investment strategies, said that Bassett could make measures to restrain further government borrowing. The humanoid robot market looks set to explode in the coming years, with companies vying to be the first to get a viable android into our daily lives. India's External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar is in Rome, where he met with the South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Tae-yul at the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in Fuji. He also met his Ukrainian counterpart Andrei Sybiha. Both the leaders exchanged views on advancing bilateral cooperation. The minister also met the French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot. Earlier, Jai Shankar enjoyed cultural performances in Rome along with the Secretary for Foreign Affairs of the Philippines and Indonesia. The Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani held a press conference at the G7 summit near Rome on Monday, addressing key issues discussed during the first working session. A judge dismissed the federal criminal case accusing the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump of conspiring to overturn the results of the 2020 election he lost to the President Joe Biden. Prosecutors also dropped their appeal of a judge's dismissal of the criminal case accusing Trump of illegally holding on to classified documents following the end of his first presidency. Toughening of his stand against illegal immigration and drug trafficking, Trump said he would impose 25% tariff on all imports from Mexico and Canada. U.S. President Joe Biden and the French President Emmanuel Macron are expected to announce a ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel imminently. White House National Security spokesperson said, "We're close, but nothing is done until everything is done." Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, said on Monday that talks towards a ceasefire with Hezbollah are moving forward. The funeral of the missing Israeli rabbi who was murdered in the UAE was held in the southeast of Tel Aviv. The body of the 28-year-old rabbi, Zvi Kogen, was discovered on Sunday. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it was an anti-Semitic terrorist attack and believed Kogen was targeted because he was a Jew. Russia, in an overnight airstrike on Tuesday, damaged the power grid in western Ukraine, cutting off electricity and water and disrupting heat supplies. More than 50 people, including students, were injured during violent clashes among the students of 3 colleges in Dhaka on Monday. Nepal's Election Commission has scheduled by-elections for December 1 to fill 41 vacant positions. The total of 410 candidates have registered their nominations. Nepal's Ministry of Health and Population has announced an increase in the monetary incentive for families of posthumous organ donors, raising the amount to 200,000 Nepali rupees per family. French prosecutors have demanded maximum 20-year prison sentence for Dominique Pellicot, who organized the mass rape of his then-wife by knocking her unconscious with drugs and inviting dozens of strangers to abuse her. In Brazil, at least 18 people have died and 28 others were rescued after a bus crashed in the northeastern state of Alagoas. In the Serbian parliament, tensions rose between the ruling coalition and the opposition over a train station roof collapse that killed 15 people earlier this month, as the opposition demanded a debate about the disaster. Thousands of protesters across Spain marched on Monday to mark the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. We'll be back after a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Express News. All schools in Delhi and the National Capital Region conduct classes in hybrid mode from Tuesday after the Commission of the Air Quality Management announced relaxations in the National Capital Region. The measure includes easing of Clause 11 of GRAP Stage 3 and Clauses 5 and 8 of GRAP Stage 4, specifically for schools and colleges. Heavy downpours, flash floods and severe waterlogging have caused severe damages across many European countries after Storm Bert battered the country over the weekend. The rail services in central England were also severely disrupted. The weather officials have warned of strong winds in northern Scotland till Monday. A new atmospheric river is forecast to bring heavy rain and significant snowfall to California starting Monday. Potential flash floods and major winter storm impacts are also expected in central and southern regions. Indonesian rescuers were searching for missing people days after torrential rain hit North Sumatra province, causing flash flooding and landslides which killed 15 people. Poor weather and low light forced rescuers and military to halt operations in Indonesia on Tuesday. The 5th UN Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee meeting has commenced in Busan. This meeting aims to secure an international treaty to curb plastic pollution. The resolution requested the Executive Director of the UN Environmental Programme to develop the instrument, which is to be based on the comprehensive approach that addresses the full life cycle of plastics. The picturesque city of Srinagar has come alive as it hosts the World Craft Council's 60th Jubilee Celebration Extension Program, which aims to spotlight Kashmir's rich craftsmanship and cultural heritage on a global platform. The event has brought together 15 international delegates who are WCC members from diverse regions including Kuwait, Australia, France, the UK, Ireland, Central Asia and beyond. J&K's Udhampur resident has launched a woman-only gym near Pine Villa. It addresses a significant gap in the local fitness landscape. This women-only gym is established under the Government of India's Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. It has quickly become a comfortable and safe place for women to work out. Jammu and Kashmir's Doda is experiencing an increased influx of tourists following heavy snowfall. Tourists are enjoying the pristine beauty as the iconic destination is covered in a fresh blanket of snow in Bhaderwa. Often called the paradise on earth, Kashmir, particularly Gulmarg, enhances its beauty during winter, drawing tourists globally. The Christmas season is beginning to come into full swing, with Berlin City Hall Christmas Market throwing open its doors to mulled wine-loving crowds. In Berlin, apart from festive decorations, market-goers can find an ice rink and stalls selling traditional Christmas market food such as roasted almonds or bratwurst. Part goat, part devil, creatures roared through the streets of Goričan in Slovenia, sending shivers down the spines of young children for the traditional Krampus parade. Organizers said the Central European Folklore Festival of ugly creatures dragging balls of fire and whips of goat hair attracts more and more people and participants from neighboring countries, Austria, Croatia and Italy, as well as Germany. Readers in Mosul marked the opening of the city's first mobile library, an initiative by the Abdul Sattar Abdul Jabbar, which is a university professor originally from Mosul, who is now living in the Netherlands. The mobile library opened earlier in November, thanks to the donations from Arab-German Young Academy of Sciences and Humanities and others who helped in raising funds for it and offering books for the project. The fourth edition of the Olive in the Heart Festival kicked off in Fez, which is celebrating the olive tree's cultural, symbolic and spiritual importance deeply rooted in Moroccan heritage. The festival combined the art of gold and artistic expressions and highlighted the symbolic and spiritual importance of the olive tree. In a groundbreaking initiative, a group of elephants in Thailand are undergoing specialized training to become mountain rescue workers. Moana 2, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, will release on November 27. A new documentary, Beatles 64, featuring never-before-seen footage of the band arriving in the United States for the first time, premiered on Sunday in New York. Produced by Martin Scorsese and Paul McCartney, the documentary will stream on Disney Plus starting November 29. The 52nd International Emmy Awards took place on Monday in New York to celebrate global television. The stand-up comedian and actor Veer Das shone as the host at the International Emmy Awards 2024. He is the first Indian to have hosted this prestigious event. Drops of God won the Best Drama Series at the 52nd International Emmy Awards. The Bollywood actor Boman Irani's directorial debut, Mehta Boys, received an outpouring of praise at its highly anticipated Asia premiere at the 55th International Film Festival of India on Tuesday. The American Warrior, a film directed by Gustavo Martin, was screened at the 55th IFFI in Goa. The movie is expected to release in April 2025. The Bollywood actor R. Madhavan's gripping social drama Hisab Barabar premiered on Tuesday at IFFI. The Indian actor Allu Arjun's highly anticipated movie Pushpa 2 is going to release on December 5, 2024. Some sports news now, and the chess grandmaster D. Gukesh is facing the reigning champion Ding Liren in the second round of the World Chess Championship in Singapore. India have regained the top spot in the 2025 World Test Championship, the points tally that is, after a resounding win over Australia in the Perth Test. India's victory against Australia has further solidified their chances of making it to their third successive final at Lord's next year. New Zealand and England, the cricket boards there, have decided to name their Test trophy after the former batsmen Martin Grove and Graham Thorpe. England's batter Jacob Bethel will make his Test debut against New Zealand when the first match begins in Christchurch on Thursday. The Indian batter Vaibhav Suryavanshi became the youngest player to be sold at an Indian Premier League auction. He's only 13 years old, and Suryavanshi was bought by the franchise Rajasthan Royals. South Africa and Sri Lanka continue their quest for a place in the World Test Championship final when they clash in the first test in Durban on Wednesday. India's top shuttlers PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen and others are competing at the Said Modi International Badminton Tournament, which starts on Tuesday. The Indian men's basketball team scripted a historic 88-69 win over the higher-ranked Kazakhstan in the Group E match of the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers in Chennai. A confident India will start as firm favourites when they take on Thailand in their opening match of the Junior Asia Cup men's hockey tournament on Wednesday. The Formula One has reached an agreement with General Motors to support GM Cadillac becoming the sport's 11th team in 2026. Manchester City will hope to end their losing streak when they clash against Feyenoord in the Champions League match on Tuesday. Barcelona will host the French side Brest in the UEFA Champions League on Tuesday. They've slipped to a second successive La Liga game without a win. The French side Brest make their debut in the European competition. They are in good position to go through to the next round after 3 wins. Cristiano Ronaldo struck twice for Al Nassr as they defeated Al Garafa 3-1. The win helped Al Nassr to move to the brink of the last 16 in the Asia Premier Continental Club competition. And thank you for watching the Express News. Stay tuned to DD India for more news and updates, which will continue. Namaskar.